This is a message from your guides reading for Sirius business. Okay, so I have one, maybe two crystals that I pulled for your reading. I have my two group crystals here that I keep using lately, my zoazite, my sodalite, and then I have my lapis lazuli. So this might be for the group. I'm not sure yet because I've been using this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one that I pulled for your reading specifically to surround us in some protective space. Oh, and this is my lapis lazuli. I don't know if I mentioned the name of that one, but I'm sure I've used that during at least one of your readings before because we've had so many. By now I've probably used the majority of the crystals that I have. So this is my jasper pyramid. And wow, I need a new picture from you. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but the energy is definitely wearing off on this picture. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned that during your last reading. I'm thinking maybe I did actually. Okay, so as you can see here, so the pyramid is the one that I pulled for you. This is very grounding. Jasper is also really grounding. And then I've got some white in this pyramid as well. So there's also channeling some higher energies down, but mostly there's a lot of brown and orange and red going on in there. So there's a lot of masculine energies here with the pyramid and then even with some of the colors as well. And this definitely feels like a focus. This feels like kind of a theme. This idea of grounding and still this idea of releasing emotions to the earth, because I'm pretty sure your guides were already mentioning that. So releasing emotions down into the ground, so working with earth energies. So this needs to be important as you're asking about, okay, you're going back to your country soon, and what do you need to be focusing on while you're there and you're not studying? So it really feels like you still need to be working on releasing all of these emotions that you have absorbed. You kind of don't want to take them with you to the next place. So still working on self-improvement, self-analysis, especially when it comes to your emotions. And thinking of ways to help yourself, and what are some ways that have helped you before? So what are some things that you've tried? I know you want to have the thought form removal session as well. And because I kind of feel like that's even something that we can go over a little bit. Like, what are things that you've worked on? What are new things that you can try? I feel like some more things will come through when we do that. But currently it does feel like you have already, you are starting to develop a little bit of an arsenal. So, you know, you already have some weapons up your sleeve that can work, that you're already aware of, and also some things that really don't work, some habits that are not good for you. So think about what is working what hasn't been working, but also what is working, what you'd like to improve on. And I feel like these are some things that we can go over when we're coming into your session. So these are some things to be mindful of and thinking about. But as far as the main thing to be working on currently, as well as when you go over there, would be releasing these emotions, working with earth energies to do that. And that is definitely part of grounding. But I feel like when you go back, you're going to be getting even more into the grounding aspect of that. It won't only be like, surrendering, allowing your emotions up, working to heal them, and working with earth energies to release them, heal them. It's also going to be this grounding aspect. So when you're doing that, obviously, when you're working with earth energies to begin with, obviously, if you're releasing your emotions in that way, that's automatically somewhat grounding. But I feel like when you get back, there are going to be some more specific things that you're going to be doing, working on the grounding specifically. So it won't only be about releasing these emotions, the grounding is going to come up more as an aspect to work on, and you'll have more ways to do that. Since that's not something that you're going to be working on until you're actually over there, they're not mentioning specifically what quite yet in this reading, because you just don't need that information yet. And then when you are over there and you have the next reading when you're over there, then it's going to be something that is more fresh. Your guides are bringing it up fresh, and you'll know what to do right then and there, versus they bring it up now. It's something that you have to remember for later. So they want it to be kind of new and fresh when you're going into it. It's going to be a lot easier for you when you feel like you're working a bit more on your own. Even if there are people that you're working for or you're working with other people, I do feel like you're also going to be working for yourself somewhat. It might be a mix of both for a bit, but I still feel like it's going to be, there is going to be more opportunities for you to work solely for yourself, some kind of freelance kind of idea there. Whatever that might be. Sometimes freelancing, when people say that word, it points to something artistic. It could be, but it doesn't have to be only that. But what they mean by that is kind of working for yourself and kind of people hiring you, like individual people hiring you. So it can be anything, but it's kind of a freelance kind of concept. So there'll be more of that too. But at first it feels like it's going to be kind of a mishmash of both of these things. It doesn't feel like it's going to be solely you working for yourself necessarily, but there will be more of that. I feel like it's going to be easier because you're going to be feeling a little bit more independent. You'll feel a little bit more free than when you were more under someone else, under somebody else's kind of guidance and learning how to do things. And having that kind of student role. So once you're out of that role, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to move out of these emotions. And also this unworthiness thing, it just won't have quite as much of a foothold because it won't have as much room to have a foothold, just because you're not going to be in this same type of role. You're not going to be in the same type of student role. So it feels like this worthiness thing isn't going to be quite as obvious of a block, but I feel like you'll still need to work on it. It will still be showing itself maybe here and there, but I just feel like you're not going to have to tackle it as intensely as you have had to do when you were playing the role of student, as when you're being a little bit more independent and you're kind of bringing something more to the table. So you might be working some with others at first. Maybe even in the long run, you might be working with others at, even in the long run. But it feels like you're going to end up getting better with these emotions, and you're going to kind of end up finding the place where you kind of feel more at home. But it feels like this is going to be something that is developing for a little while. You're not going to end up at your end spot in the beginning. But you're still going to be getting a lot better. These emotions, like they said, you're not going to have to tackle them in such an intense way when you're feeling more independent. Okay, so that's kind of some of the stuff that you're going to be, kind of some of the energies you're going to be heading into. That's, they were also talking about some of the things currently you're still working on that you're moving out of, but you're still, as you go back, you're still going to be releasing some of that energy as well, and then becoming more grounded, kind of for the preparation of moving into the next phase that you're going to be going into. Okay, so that is all that your guides have to say for this reading. So thank you very much for allowing me to do another one for you, and I will see you again soon. Namaste.